Hello, let me do a DNF review of Mary Lou's Red City, a book that I am not continuing with. I read about 10% of this book, so this is simply a record of why I stopped reading the book, not a review of the book in its entirety. I gave it 10%. Some people give 100%, I give 10%. And then I tap out. It's a book where I was starting to make snide comments on every page, chipping away at it, arguing with it. There's sometimes you can read a book and be like, oh, I dislike this book, read this book in an entertaining way. I felt like, no, this was going to be, I'm going to hate read this book in a way that is just going to not be healthy for me. I'm not going to enjoy myself doing it. Life is short. I am not young. And, so I decided I'm going to put it aside, but I think it's always an interesting thing to actually look at. Why did this book rub me such the wrong way? It's urban fantasy, so I'm definitely. It's not like it's a genre that I'm not accustomed to. It's taking place in Angel City, which is it's Los Angeles, but they call it Angel City. It's got all the places of Los Angeles, but it's called Angel City to distinguish it because this is a different world. This is a world where alchemy exists, except of course you got to do that urban fantasy sleight of hand thing where everyone else, all the muggles, to use a transphobe's term, all the non-alchemy people, they think alchemy is just a discredited science that Isaac Newton and people before that used before it was superseded by actual science. But the alchemists know better, and apparently have been going through the ages. They as we get into the young characters who are learning about this, we've started to learn as well that it goes back to like the Greeks, and it goes back even further to the Egyptians, and that when you see something signed by someone like Isaac Newton, it might be Isaac Newton, or might be another alchemist who has taken on their name, because you take on their name to kind of so that they live forever. Except, however, when you take on, this is when I start niggling. It's like, yeah, but if you take on somebody else's name, you're basically extinguishing yourself. So it's basically turning yourself into an anonymous dead person in a way by giving up your own name to use Isaac Newton or Boethius or various other names that I'm sure will pop up in here. This book at the beginning had this slightly sank me just at the beginning of misgivings of like, it has all the symbols of the water symbols, the earth symbols, various. It's like, okay, there's like page after page after page of all these symbols, and it's just like, am I gonna need to know this? Is there gonna be a test on this? Because I'm not going to really give a fuck. So there's kind of that. I don't think I even really got into, in a lot of ways, partially into the magic, and I didn't like the manifestation I saw of it there. So I'll get into that. So there's all that. That's kind of the setting. It focuses on two children who are abused, are basically one child who is horribly abused by her mother at the beginning of the book in a way that it was just like, holy shit, that is like super disturbing. Like, I did not get far into this book before the character of there's Avi and the female character whose name is now just gone completely out of my head. Avi and, God damn it. Okay, Avi is a fellow from India. He, growing up in India, people seem to find him very attractive. There's always people staring at him, like adults staring at him, and this is like a young kid, like in his 8 or 9 or 10. I got the sense, and like people are staring at him young, and there's definitely some hints of that his sisters have already been kind of sexually harassed. Young sisters have been sexually harassed, and you sense of like, oh, he's a boy. Well, actually, I think it would happen to a boy as well. But anyways, he gets spotted by this fellow, and the fellow goes to his parents and says, okay, I want him. Give him to me. I'll send back money as long as he's performing well in America. So they basically kind of the parents sell him. They traffic him. So it's kind of already kind of a disturbing thing. This isn't, God, I keep on going fucking. It's not like I've been invited to a magical school or anything. It's like, no, you've been trafficked. So there's that. He ends up in Los Angeles. Surprise, surprise. And he meets, God damn it, I'm trying to remember what her name is now, and I'm completely going a blank, so I should have clicked this open while I was stalling for time on that. But the female character, they're poor. Her and her mother, they've only got each other. Her mother works in a restaurant. Her mother catches her listening into a couple of guys in very sharp business suits who talk about alchemy, and also talk about this Diamond family. And her mom is pissed about this, and like basically grabs her and jerks her up, and like almost dislocates her shoulder. So it's like, okay, well, that's really fucking rough to begin with. But that is less than that, because the next time that the daughter Sam, God damn it, that Sam crosses her mom, she's got a beloved stuffed rabbit that she talks to and is kind of her only kind of friend, this imaginary friend. And her mom knows this. And so her mom grabs up this rabbit and just grabs a knife and dismembers it in front of her while she is sobbing and weeping inconsolably. And it's just like, I found that really disturbing. And it's like, okay, to what point are we kind of showing this, what felt like to me in kind of a symbolic way, pretty vicious child abuse? But I think that gets into why I decided to put, one of the reasons why I decided to put this down. Probably the top one is that there are some authors that, okay, writing a story is manipulating, you're manipulating a reader's emotions. But there's a way of doing it that is subtle. There's a way that it's like, oh, I'm investing in characters and I care about them, doing it that way. But there's another way where you're like, here's a little moppet, and I'm just gonna slap her around and make you feel sorry for her. And Avi, of course, he's pretty and beautiful, and there's boys, there's fellow students who are jealous of him, so they beat him up and they bully him. And don't you feel for Avi because of that? And it's like, no, it's the author who is being an asshole here. It's a cheap kind of manipulation, and I see it, once I've seen it as cheap manipulation versus, I don't know, expensive manipulation, it just bothers me, and it starts digging at me, and I start kind of sneering at every single fucking choice this author makes, which is a good sign to say, okay, I'm tapping out. That's the end of that. I'm not down for this book. And it's like I read Goodread reviews and people were like, well, they had a hard time actually connecting with the characters, which I can see because I was not connecting with the characters at all. I was just seeing the author's thumb shoving down on stuff, trying to make me feel something. To be honest, the thing that got me the most was like, oh, well, I didn't really care about Avi, but the complicated relationship between Sam and her mom was kind of interesting, and getting all the flashbacks of how her mom had a hard life. It's like, yes, the abuser. There's a couple of things of like some weird power dynamics of like, oh, I still love my mom even though she's abusing me, which happens. But I feel like this is kind of done again cheaply. Like, oh, here's the role reversal. Mom isn't so bad even though she abuses her child horribly. And there's also some stuff about having relationships with teachers when you're just barely, kind of that barely legal thing, which also seems fucking gross. That was in the reviews. I don't have any direct experience with that, but I can see just by reading the reviews there was going to be a lot more stuff that I was just going to find annoying, that was going to just fucking grate on me so much. I've 10 minutes of me ranting about a book that I've only read 10% of. So obviously this isn't a book for me. There is a certain kind of popular storytelling where it is highly manipulative, and I think some people just go for that. It's like high melodrama. I like pulpy kind of crap where it's kind of fun. I don't shy away from, you know, kind of violent, full-on stories with disturbing characters and you know, shit like, you know, Lolita. It's like you're in the head of a fucking pedophile, but it's done in a way that it's like, it feels honest, and it's also, he doesn't think he's a monster, but the author is able to communicate through what he does and how he thinks exactly how much of a fucking monster Humbert is in Lolita. And there's slightly a kind of a thing of like, I don't know if this book believes that abusers are, if it's still in love with its abusers. I don't know. It was not a book for me. It was the TLDR, not a book for me. Highly manipulative, cheap, blah. All right, so yes, that is Red City by Mary Lou. You know, don't take my word for it. I only got 10% in, but I just wanted that record of, ugh, I did not like this book, and these are the reasons why. It, at least to myself, it illuminates, you know, what kind of reader I am. And it's sort of a celebration of, hey, I don't have to read an entire book. I can give it 10% and go, yeah, you know what? Not for me, not for me. Good job, because there's so many other books that I can read and enjoy myself with. So, all right, I will leave it there. More videos later.